Hey everyone, it's Monica, just Monica, and I am here playing more Cinderella Phenomenon. I'm binge recording because this game's been getting fun. Um, Dolora decides to stay in my room for the time being, saying that she believes Rod will help me for now. Later, I make my way to the dining room with the fabrics and see Madeline and Ophelia inside. Monica! Ah, I see you have the fabric. Thank you. And Madeline takes. She's so pretty. Stop being a useless lesbian, Monica. Ophelia takes the topmost sample of fabric and begins to inspect it as Madeline walks up to me. Where's Rod? He returned to his he returned to his studies. All right, he has history lessons today, and I am yet to finish my history homework, which is due tomorrow. As Madeline muses out loud, I ponder what Rod told me earlier. I must become a Madeline's friend, but is that really a good deed? I hope Rod didn't send servants out before he went back to his room. I wanted to tell them that Viorica and I already called on guards to bring the box inside. Good. Make the strong people with muscles carry heavy things, not the weak little me. I can barely carry my groceries. I struggle with that. I need a man. Or at least a person. I need a person with muscles to carry my groceries. Um, maybe he had decided to start his lessons earlier so that he could make your oh, that's cool. Dance lessons. Dance lesson? Father wanted to hire the best dance instructor in NGL, but I honestly feel more comfortable with Rod teaching me. He's a good dancer, so his father allows it. The best in all of NGL. No, I want my big bro. That is a surprise. I did not know that Rod could dance. He used to prefer singing, but then Ophelia trails off. I know that she is talking about the fairy tale curse, but I do not expect her to divulge such information to a maid like me. He's decided to focus on his dancing for the past few months. Ophelia glances down at the fabrics and looks up and smiles at me. Monica, would you mind helping me with this? Ooh? I obedient I obediently walk over to the fabrics. Monica! Monica! I obediently walk over to the fabrics. Ophelia wants me to look at. I obediently walk over to the fabrics that Ophelia wants me to look through. They're apparently samples for the tablecloth that will be used during the ball. This is going to be this is going to be a long day. Oh? Rod comes immediately to the throne room after his history lessons. Okay. Rod comes immediately to the throne room after his history lessons to start on. After. It feels like there should be a comma. Rod. Rod comes immediately to the throne room after his history lessons to start on his dance lessons with Evangeline. I am only standing here because it's my responsibility as her personal maid to watch over her as she practices. I watch as she steps out of rhythm, and Rod sighs at her. You're doing it wrong. This is the 10th time. Hey, don't be so mean. I'm sorry. Again. They start from the beginning, and I am unable to stifle my own sigh when Madeline messes up the same step again. This would make the 11th time. I really am terrible at this. Would you rather have the royal dance instructor teach you? He has more expectation. He has more experience teaching me than I do. Oh, no, no, I really do want you to teach me, Rod. I'm sorry that I'm such a slow learner. Um, you're always good at everything. Singing, dancing, cooking. R Prince Rod cooks? He's a, he's a good cook. Cool. I too am good at cooking. I'm fairly decent, I think. My problem is just poverty. It's rare that I get a chance to cook a good meal, but if I do, I'm relatively decent. Yeah. R yes, Rod does cook. He's very good at it. You didn't have to tell her that. Um, oh, it's like a nickname. Does it really matter? I love bragging about how talented my little brother is. Aw, little brother. Pat pat. Aww. See a tinge of pink in Rod's cheeks as he turns away. Is he embarrassed? Aww. Evangeline looks down at the floor, her smile smaller. I wish I was as talented as you, Rod. There's no such thing as talent, it's all just hard work. I had always thought that Evangeline was overly optimistic. She always seemed to bounce back with a smile, no matter how many times I pushed her away. Now I cannot help but reconsider that thought. Aww. Still, seeing her like this only irritates me. Pitying yourself will get you nowhere. Not everyone can be perfect at everything when they first start out. I remember when Mother gave me similar lessons. She was always such a harsh teacher, and she hated when I showed weakness in front of her. She made me keep practicing until I had perfected whatever it was she wanted me to do. Failure was never an option. I never had time for self-pity. Instead of saying sorry for yourself, just try harder. Let failure inspire you to do better. Monika, that was... She's right, Rod. Instead of complaining, I should be working harder. That's some bad advice, just letting you know. But, I think some actual good advice, some life tips with Monika. Um, sometimes like, you're not going to be perfect at everything instantly. And I know that there's like I know it's like, oh, it's one of those things where it's like you need to stop comparing yourself to other people and instead only compare yourself to yourself because you and other people are not comparable ever. You and other people are like not comparable like ever. There's too many different situations and too many different variables. Instead of comparing your current self to other people's best, essentially, compare yourself to yourself that you were at before. Like, think of it in terms of like speedrunning. Your first attempt, comparing your first attempt to everyone else's like 100,000th attempt to the literal world record, that's not going to get you anywhere. Instead, you should only be focusing on yourself. Focus on your last run and try to beat your personal best. And if you don't, then it's fine, because you can just try again. You know? I let out an exasperated sigh and crossed my arms. You always look at your feet whenever you reach the underarm term. Instead, focus on counting your steps and let Prince Rod lead you. Worrying too much on your next step is what puts you off the rhythm. Madeline stares at me. Can you dance, Monika? Are we gonna dance? Are we getting a lesbian? Are we getting a lesbian route after all? I can. Why? Wow, that's amazing. There's nothing amazing about my being able to dance. Her praise makes me embarrassed regardless. Maybe I could learn faster, say... She's gonna make me dance with Rod. And what are you talking about? It might be easier to copy the steps if I can have someone perform them first. She turns... She turns to me suddenly, eyes bright. Would you help me? Am I meant... I am meant to assist Evangeline in any way I can, but dancing with her brother? Surely a lowly maid should not be doing this. Oh. I mean, I know what I... Yeah. There's no question about this. I'm saving regardless, just to be safe, but like, well, if I do accept, then at least I can prove that I am a better dancer than Rod. Cinderella Monika. She does not know what lies. She does not lie. She does not know what lies in the depths of her own heart. Besides, I'm supposed to be listening to Evangeline, no matter how absurd her requests are. Yes. Sub. 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 If that is what you want. Really? If that is what my lady desires. Evangeline rushes up to me and takes my hand in hers. Thank you, Monika. I thought it might be an awkward request, but I'm so happy you've agreed to this. I turn to look at Rod, who is glowering at me. I am not dancing with her. She might step on my feet. Evangeline gives him a disapproving look. Luke? Oh my god, I just turned British for a second. Rod, please. Rod eyes me warily. I step towards him and offer my hand. Shall we? Rod scowls at me for a few moments before finally taking my hand. My... I put my hand on his shoulder and he places his hand in the small... On the small of my back? What? What does that even mean? Rod looks at me but quickly averts his gaze. Aw. Is something wrong? I didn't think I would ever have to dance with you, is all. Neither did I. Rod looks at me again. This time he has an uncomfortable scowl on his face. He is not the only uncomfortable one here. We both start dancing, and I mentally start counting the steps. It has been a long time since I had danced with anyone, but the steps come to me naturally. The dance is rather simple. While Rod and I move stiffly, I cannot help but notice that his careful footwork. I realize that Rod is a pretty decent dancer. Of course, I would never openly admit that. Too soon today is falling in love. I actually don't know how to dance. I've always wanted to learn, but yeah, no. I struggle leaving my room when I blush at Otome games. Do you have any? I would die of embarrassment. When we stop, I hear Evangeline clapping her hands, and she looks at the both of us in awe. Oh my god, you really are... I just added that, but you really are a good dancer. Thank you so much for showing me the steps. Now I know for sure what to do during that part. I just shrug at her before stepping back to the corner. Evangeline takes her position in front of Rod once more. This time, she has a bright smile on her face. I cannot believe something as simple as that has made her so happy. Aww. At the end of the day, Evangeline has managed to manage to do the steps correctly. She tells me many times how grateful she is for the help. After practice, I return to my room and retire to bed. I think about how happy Evangeline was. How can such small things make a person so happy? Hey, it's me! It's called being sensitive. It has its ups and downs. Oh, oh no. You stepped out of rhythm again, Monika. But mother, this is really hard. A princess should never complain. Okay, first of all, that's some propaganda. I'm a princess. It is my right to complain. Second of all, you must perfect this waltz by tomorrow. Otherwise, I will not allow you to play with your dolls for the day. But, but, if you have time for objections, you have time to push yourself harder. Now, once again from the top. Oh, jeez. The following days are uneventful. Madeline continues her dance lessons with Rod. Her steps are still far from perfect, but I can tell that she's improved since my demonstration with Rod. Meanwhile, Rod chooses to ignore me most of the time, though I have noticed that he is less cold than usual. At least he does not snap at me for no good reason anymore. The Dolora is no longer assisting me. She insists on staying in my room more often. She says that there's something important she wants to investigate, and I cannot even guess what it might be. I prefer not having her around anyway. Her constant chattering makes it difficult to focus on anything. Right now, I am still trying to figure out how I can achieve my first good deed. Almost 3 months have passed since I was cursed, and I have yet to complete my first good deed. These are my thoughts as I head back to the sleeping quarters after dinner that night. Madeline excused me long ago, insisting that I go to my own room before she went to hers. Like any good dom, she sends her sub to bed before she goes to bed herself. I am walking down the hallway when I notice Rod heading down a familiar path. I follow after him. Are you going to the Marchen? I haven't yet decided. I think Marchen. I like that. It sounds better with the soft cha. Cha cha cha. Rod jumps and turns around. The surprise in his face quickly fades into annoyance. Don't do that again. Oh, we scared him. And no, not today. Since I came here, I found that Rod occasionally sneaks out of the palace at night to go through the secret passageway to the Marchen. Even now, I'm confused as to why he goes there. He said before that he has given up on breaking his curse, which makes me wonder why he still visits. It would also make me wonder why he would refuse to break his curse in the first place. Is he okay with being the way that he is, or does his curse make it really, or is his curse just really difficult to break? Why were you cursed, Rod? I am not answering that question. Why? I cannot help you break your curse if you refuse to tell me anything. I told you before that I do not need your help. Yes, but I chose you as my partner. You will help me, and I will help you. It is highly likely that breaking Rod's curse will also count for a good deed. Rod scowls at me and crosses his arms. I'm afraid that this isn't how it works at all. The sound of footsteps keeps me from coming back with a retort. We turn to see Sir Alacaster approaching us. Prince Rod, good evening. Good evening, Sir Alacaster. Sir Alacaster turns towards me and raises an eyebrow. Shouldn't you be attending to Princess Madeline? Rod silences me with a look. He moves to stand in front of me, shielding me from Sir Alacaster's gaze. We were just about to go to her. Let's go, Monika. No, she sent me to bed. You can't. I'll get in so much trouble. Rod strides away as I quickly curtsy to Sir Alacaster before following after Rod. I can still feel Sir Alacaster's eyes on me on my back as I walk away. I try my best to suppress a shudder. Rod and I walk through the hallway in silence. We stop in our tracks and we both hear the clattering of silverware. I look around to realize the sound is coming from behind the set of doors that is slightly open. The dining hall? Oh no! That's Madeline's voice. Is she okay? We do not see Evangeline as we enter the room, but there is a dizzying array of cutlery set on the table. Evangeline? Evangeline surprises us by crawling out from underneath the table. She flashes us an embarrassed smile as she gets to her feet, holding several forks and knives in her hands. What are you doing here? You should be getting ready for bed. Sorry. I eye the silverware on the table. I thought I could practice before I sleep today. It has already been an incredibly long day for her, and she is still doing this. I watch as Evangeline puts the cutlery back on the table in the wrong places. You need to rest, Em. I will, after I practice the placement this one last time. Aww. She smiles at him before returning to the table. I don't know why a person would need so much cutlery. One fork, one spoon, and one knife should be more than enough for any meal. Wait a minute, there's more cutlery than just those two? Is the royalty using sporks? The royalty uses sporks. And all of these glasses, if I recall correctly, this one's for water, this one's for red wine, and this one's for white wine? Wait, what the heck? What the heck is a white wine? I simply must find out. Now I'm like actually curious. What is white wine? Actually, it's alcohol. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Okay, I need to know this. I want to be given the correct answers, so I'm gonna ask for this. That flute is for champagne, the other is for sherry. Wait, what? Oh, right. But there are two more. The other is for juice, and the glass and dessert. There's so much fucking types of alcohol. This is what you just have one for juice. That's just it makes everything simple. The dessert wine glasses will only be used during the dessert course. The juice glass is only used when juice is being served. There we go. That's all you need. Just give me my appy juice. But otherwise, it is placed next to the water goblet. I see. I see Rod staring at me from out of the corner of his eyes. His lips twitch before he turns back at me to his sister. It looked like he was about to smile. Aww. See, I knew that was the correct answer. There was no universe for being, mean was the right answer. Nor would it be in character for me. And what are these for? The groups of forks. You use those every day, Your Highness. You should know the answer. She points them out as she rattles off the name. A dinner fork, a fish fork, salad fork. There's a difference between the three? Oh my god. You know so much about etiquette, too. You really are incredible. Monika, you'd make a better noblewoman than I do. Even if I told her that I was noble, it's not as if she would believe me. I just read a lot about these things. You read and you know enough to put them into practice? That's amazing. Especially because you haven't been with us so long, right, Rod? Oh. Ow. Rod shrugs. He does not, much to my surprise, disagree. Perhaps you should be my teacher, Monika. I could learn so quickly from you. Evangeline quickly straightens out the cutlery. Now that I think about it, I've come to realize that Evangeline is much more than she appeared to be. It is probably because I am forced to spend so much time with her as her maid. She is different. She is flawed. She's not as conceited and more humbled than I originally thought. Maybe I should try lending her a hand. I may not be one of you tutors, but if you need help with your lessons, just come and ask me and I will do what I can for you. Monika? I glance at Rod, who is once again wearing that expression of surprise. I shift my attention to Evangeline once again. You only have 1 month left to prepare, and as your personal maid, I feel it's my responsibility to do whatever you can to help you in whatever ways I can. Monica. Aww. Is she crying? You're extremely kind, Monica. I try. Thank you. I'll definitely take you up on that offer. I'm still looking up at a Madeline when I catch a faint glow from the pendant on my chest. What just happened? Oh, what a pretty necklace you have, Monica. Thank you. Anyway, for now, I think the both of us would benefit from some sleep. Not to mention, yeah, it's past my bedtime. After escorting Madeline back into her room, I walk out into the hallway, but in a daze. What was that light? It seems as if you managed. It seems like you actually managed to obtain your first good deed. I did not know that he was still there. I look down at my pendant, astonished at what I see. A piece of the glass slipper. I gingerly touch the new piece that is hanging from my existing glass slipper pendant. It is real. You're not too bad after all. Did he just compliment me? What? Rod turns away. Nothing. He walks away, leaving me alone with my thoughts. Yep, chapter 5. And this is a good stopping point. It's actually an amazing stopping point because we got the first glass slipper. So thank you so much for think that. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day and please remember to smile. Bye!